Welcome. Here we are, 2026. So this is a 4-week journal journey. Okay. So every week we're going to focus a bit on journaling. So let me ask you this. We have made New Year's intentions and thought of this and what can I bring into the new year, what's left in the old year, and we think. It's like when you open your computer screen and you've got tabs open. That's the mind, it can't focus on one thing at a time. Mental noise, social media. Then you think of this, then you think of that. So it's overstimulation. There's a lot of stuff going on. So when you start to write things down, because you've only got two hands and you write with one hand, it slows the brain down, it slows the nervous system, and you are able to focus on one thing at a time. So it supports and we are going to look at what the role is of the brain and the writing, because some people might think it's a waste of time, but this is what I want to show you, is that it's very healthy for the brain actually, also just journaling and writing down. And there's a huge difference between writing and typing. So we are going to focus on writing and not typing. And with journaling, there's no judgment. It's not about fixing anything. It's just about and not doing more. It's just about categorizing and sorting out stuff, your thoughts. So like I said, it's a 4-week journey. So it's gonna be like 4 videos, I think. And then you can do it in your own time. You can go as fast or as slow as you want. But I'm gonna pace it into 4 weeks. And then just each week we're gonna talk about a specific element or aspect of journaling and how it corresponds with the brain and the nervous system and all of that nice scientific things, right? So, week 1. So, week 1 is where I talk about expressive journaling. And I love the word brain dump because this is what it is. So, clearing mental noise, creating inner safety, because there's no one else around. It's just you, a pen or a pencil, and a paper. By the way, crayons are also welcome. If you want to draw pictures, we'll talk about that also. But it's also an emotional release and a nervous system regulation, where you kind of like balance the busyness with the calming down. And like I said, when you start writing things down, you can focus on one thing at a time. So before you start writing or before this, how can I say, the healing starts, the healing integration, thoughts processing, all of that happens, the brain needs to be in a state of safety, so before you start writing, your mind goes bananas. There's too many things. And when you start to write, the brain starts to slow down. It starts to be safe. And that's where, if the brain starts to start sending messages to the body, I'm safe, your nervous system will start to relax and wind down. And that's where the messages are coming from. As soon as your nervous system starts to relax, the messages will come through and the thoughts will be processed on paper. So very important to, when you are journaling, to be in a calm, peaceful space, okay? Be alone. Take the time and just go to a place where it's safe and calm. And yeah, so like I say, so create your space wherever you feel comfortable with being alone, and don't look at your phone, don't look at your computer, put everything away, switch off and take your pen and paper. It's just you. That's very important to create that safe space. Okay. So like I said, this is about free writing, no headings, no titles, no should I write this down, should I do this, should I do that? No, it's just brain dump. That's all it is. So then no censorship, very important, or structure, all of that. No, just write. So it's very interesting because there's a relationship between your prefrontal cortex, the front part of the brain, and the amygdala, which is part of your lower brain. And the amygdala is about that fight and flight mode. It's very connected to your the primordial, the fight and flight instinct, where the prefrontal cortex has got more to do with regulating emotions and all of that. So when you start to focus on one emotion at a time, or start to categorize, or to put everything in order, it talks to the amygdala, and the amygdala slows down and it becomes calm, and then it's like it signals to the body, okay, I'm okay, there's no threat happening, so let's just calm down and breathe, So there's this connection between that and the amygdala, which is very important, and that's the very scientific thing, the scientific evidence that came up from journaling. And there's actually a Stanford study that they've shown that the expressive writing, or this brain dump, calms the what was it, cingulate cortex. Yes, I think it's cingulate cortex in the brain. It calms it down, which is linked to that emotional distress and anxiety and anxiousness. So that's the scientific part of journaling. But now, very interesting is, some people will still journal, which is fine, but they type it out on the computer, which is the other side of it. Is, when you start to write, when you actually do the old-fashioned writing with your hand and pen or pencil or what it is you write with, it slows the process down, and there's more time for integration and processing. And so also to do with your motor skills, because you are still using your hand. There's something about the hand and eye coordination also happening. So there's lots with what we don't realize that happens in the body, and it gives more time for regulation, intake, sensory stimulation for the body as well, for the eyes, not having screen time but actually looking at paper. There's lots of things that we don't realize that happens, and that's part of being bombarded with so much screen time. We forgot about going back, I think so. So for this week, I would like to invite you to just try this, you know. So before you start to write, like I said, creating your safe space, creating a space where you are, and before you write, just take a few moments to breathe. Just breathe in, try to breathe into the belly, you know, not the shoulders, but try to really relax your shoulders. Breathe into the belly, just a few breaths, just to calm your body down so that you can arrive into the space. Um, if you want, I always love sitting down on the floor. There's something very grounding on sitting on the floor. But yeah, if you don't want to sit on the floor, you're welcome to sit on a chair with a chair and desk. I mean, if you're in the office, you don't want to, you know, that's your space. But maybe the office is also not a good idea. Maybe go to a park and sit on a bench somewhere where there is more calmness. Because sitting in your office, you're not really away from that is distracting you. You are still being in that busy space. So really try and find spaces where there's immediate calmness when you walk into that space. So very important to start really look at that and see how your environment influences you. Having a notebook, dedicated notebook for your journaling, having a pen or pencil, and if you like colors, you can always draw pictures. That also helps with the writing. And this is only brain dumping. So open your notebook, write the date only, and then nothing for the rest of it. Just start to write things down. No title, no headings, just the date. Start writing. And when you write, remember that this journal is private. And don't try to edit. Just write what comes up. Don't edit. And also remember it's judgment free. Nobody's going to look at it. And you're also not going to read it back. So very important. So write thoughts, worries, emotions, or to-do lists, things that are confusing to you at the moment, all this kind of stuff. Just take it out of the air, out of your thoughts, and just start to write it down. And also try not to make sense of it, and don't read it. Just focus on the hand writing these words down. And if you do get stuck, return to your breath. And if you feel comfortable and you feel lighter, then there's your answer. And when you don't have any more thoughts to write down, put your pen down, take a deep breath, and just release it and close it. And then notice that lightness, the softness that's now entering your body. And you can let it go, because subtly all this integration will now be in your physical body. You don't have to think about it. It's automatic. It's going to integrate throughout the day or throughout the night, before you sleep, whenever you do it. So it's just basically taking all the thoughts, putting them down on paper, and let it land in the physical world, not just up there. So that's my invitation to you. Try it, see how it goes. And then next week we'll take it further. But for now, this is week 1, expressive writing, brain dumping. Go for it, have fun, be kind, and don't judge. So as I always say, be kind to yourself. Don't say I should do this or do that. Just allow things to come up naturally. Okay, so be kind to yourself and everybody around you. and have a wonderful week, and I will see you or connect with you next week or next time. Okay, have a good one. Namaste.